All right, hello everybody. I guess you guys seen my video coming out here. I am inside now Midwest Game, and of course you guys know that face there. That is Sam, the Dice Man, and he's got news for us about the Bone Thrower dice. They are ready, and we're ready for your orders on them. Sam, how you doing?
I'm very good. How are you, sir?
I'm okay, man.
Good.
Let's talk about these great dice, man. You got sitting in front of you.
Well, first of all, if you don't mind, I'd like to talk to the people who've been buying from me. That apologize the long lead times, but I want you guys to know I appreciate almost every one of you have been very understanding of the situation. And I appreciate that, and we can only produce them so fast. And as you guys know, we are a casino supply first. Obviously, we sell retail if someone calls and asks, but we don't advertise that we do it. So I just want you guys to know I appreciate the patience you've shown me. So, yeah, we've got some bone thrower dice here. I don't know if you can see them or not, but we're going to do red and black, both in 3/4 and 775. Black is very limited. I only have a few. We don't make black dice very often. They're going to go very, very, very fast. I do. We do offer this nice display. If you want it, it's $2 extra for this, or you can get them in the gold foil like you've always gotten them. That's how they're wrapped. I would unwrap them and put them in this. So, but we have both sizes: the 3/4 inch and the 775, both colors, and that's the only two colors we have, black and red, at this time. When these run out, we will do another run with probably a different color than black, but red will probably stay the same. So, and as you guys know, Bonthor will always, when he comes here, he buys dice, but he will not be buying these four sets. I'm giving it to him, and they are the first of each color for his serial number. So these are his. I know he's going to buy some more, he told me, but I'm giving these to him. So those are yours, sir.
Thank you, Sam. Let me get a close up on these dice here so people can see them. So you can see the brand here. These are the red dice here, so you guys can get up here. We'll focus in. There you go. Look at that. Are these the best looking dice you've ever seen in the world? What a great job this place did with that brand there. It's perfect. Just perfect.
Yeah, show them the black ones. It really looks nice.
And let's get to a black dice here. Now, like Sam said, this is only going to be the only time we do this in black because of what they have to do. I'll have Sam explain that. But this is going to be the only time you can get black dice. After this, we're going to do our next run. If these sell okay and everybody wants some more dice, we're going to do red and blue and then red and green. So those are going to be the only colors you're going to be able to get these dice in after this run is over. So if you want some black dice, get on it real quick because they're going to go quick. And he don't have a lot of these black dice, unfortunately. I could buy them all up, but I'm not. I'm going to leave them out there for you guys. I'm just going to get me some red. So I want you guys to be able to have them. But there you go. Look at that dice. Isn't that beautiful? And these are a solid color, but they're going to weigh the same, and they're going to be the same size as it's in any other color, like red, blue. Sam, explain that why casinos use clear dice versus these.
Yeah, in most casinos will do polished, which are the red and what we've sold to everyone. But they do that so they can see through the dice. So there's no you can see if someone has messed with the inside of the dice. Most people, when they load the dice, they load it in behind the spots. But you could see that if it's a lead looking through the other side of the dice. There is some out there that do what we call a lap finish. Most people call it a sanded or a frosted finish, but 99.9% do the polish so you can see through it. And there's some security features that we don't offer for bone throw people, but that they use in that as well. So there's other reasons why they do a polished die. So, right. And then these, if some of you guys have orders in, and I know, like I said, I apologize and I appreciate your patience. The bone throw orders I will not add to the other orders because I can, until they sell out, I can ship them immediately. They can ship today. If I have your information from previous orders, or if we can get your information as far as a ship to and a credit card, I could ship them today. So just want you to know, if you have an order in, I don't want to add it to it because I can ship these today, and I'm assuming you'd like to have these instead of waiting for them. So anyway, just so you guys know that.
So yeah, so the black dice are a solid dice versus these red dice are, like you said, were a clear through dice, but they're going to be the same size
Same weight.
and same weight. I mean, casinos could use solid dice, but for the reasons you just said,
Security
why they
reasons.
don't. Now I got a question too. I've always wondered, does the color of the dice make the hardness different in the dice, or all the hardness the same?
No, it's all the same.
So
And it doesn't affect the weight either.
right, but I'm talking about just like I say, this black dice, since it's solid
Mm-hmm.
black and you can't see through it, and then this red dice is clear. Does
It's only because of the pigment. Black and white, you can't see it through it because it's not something that is see-through.
okay, but because of that pigment, it doesn't make that dice harder
No.
than the red dice. So they're the same hardness too.
Yep.
They're the same size, they're the same weight, and the dice themselves are the same hardness also.
Yep.
Okay.
And again, whatever we take out to drill a 6, which the opposite side's a 1, whatever we take out in weight in plastic, we put back in the exact same weight in paint. So the 6 side isn't going to be heavier than the 1 side. And that, a lot of people always ask that, you know.
Right, because then you'll be flipping over.
Yeah, it's going to be heavy on the 6, and
Right.
you're going to throw a 1 more than you are a 6. So, but yeah, it's the same weight that we take out in plastic that we put back in paint. So,
Well, that's nice to know, because that was one of my foil hat conspiracies that, the different colors made the dice actually, even though they weighed the same and they were the same size, it made the plastic harder than this particular color, so the bounce would be different because of the hardness
Yeah.
of the die.
the product starts in little clear pebbles. It's the same product and material that you make glasses with. Okay, and all we do is add, like you would for like making Christmas cookies. You want to make the dough green or the icing green. It's basically this. It's obviously more technical than that,
Right.
but it's a powder. It mixes it up, dries, and then we put it in our extruder to print these out. So
Okay.
it's just it's a powdered color that we put in there.
Great. Okay. I mean, because that was one of the things I always worried about. That like when I walk in a casino and they got like blue dice, and I was practicing with red dice on my table, and I'd go, "Wow, I wonder if I'm going to throw the same. I wonder if these blue dice might be a harder dice because they're a different color, because
Right.
the pigment makes them harder, and then it's going to give me, of course, just enough different bounce where I'm not going to have the same results as what I've been practicing on my table."
Yeah.
So I'm glad to put that to bed, because that was one of my. I forgot to ask you that last time we met. I wanted to ask you about that because it's always been in the back of my mind that they gotta wait. I mean, they gotta be harder than the next color. But if it doesn't make a difference, then there you go.
Yeah.
So
And most people in the casino industry, the reason you see different color, it's based upon what surveillance has contrast on the cloth that they're playing on. So the surveillance can pick those dice up and read the numbers off of it. That's what the different colors are for. And then obviously when I was in the casino industry, we would, over St. Patrick's, we put on green dice, whether we had green dice ever through that year or not, just for the holiday. So, but most of it, the reason they choose the colors they do is based upon the layout color. And someone throws a dice off in some jurisdiction, and let's say it's not found, you can't find it, they'll make them change the color.
oh yeah, I played at a casino that did that.
Yeah.
They had red dice, and it was like a couple of weeks I went back in and they had yellow dice.
Yep.
And I'm like, I fell over. I said, what the hell? Where's your red dice? And they said one went off went off the table, and we didn't find it. They actually think they know who took it, and but they changed their color, and
Yeah.
they played for the next 6 months with those yellow dice
Yeah.
before they went back to
Yeah,
red.
they'll give them. They usually just give them a time frame. They
Right.
keep them out of action for X, weeks or whatever.
Well, and this is when I was going through my conspiracy thing, because these yellow dice were like clear through versus the red, and I always thought, man, these dice are different than the red, but apparently they weren't.
And they're just lighter, just a lighter
Yeah.
color, and that's why you're like, they're almost not even there.
Well, every time I didn't do good on the table, I blamed it on the color of the die because, hey, you gotta go somewhere.
We have a lot of people that when I was on the other side, I was in operations. They're like, "Can you get some of those Bud Jones dice they throw?" But they just feel like they're luckier with those. Not doing what you guys are doing as far as technique, but they were always like switching.
Yeah, I mean, I blamed. I just had a rotten day of throwing, but I blamed it on the dice because they changed color and like there's something different about these dice.
Yeah.
Even though they looked the same size and all that, felt the same way, I just knew there was something different about them. So,
I don't know if I've ever told you guys this. We are one of two that make casino quality dice in the world.
In the world,
yeah.
I mean,
there's others that make dice. Don't get me wrong, and they may be using them in the casino, but they don't meet. They don't have to deal with the standards we deal with. Meaning, like in China, we sell dice to Macau. We sell dice to Israel. I sell dice to everybody. We send them all over the world. But we're one of two that make dice.
And then the only one that sells to the public, right?
That are casino quality that I'm aware of. The other company that I'm talking about, they don't sell to the public.
Right.
And actually, they just changed ownership. They were Gamblers Partners International, or GPI, and Angel Playing Cards just bought them, and they're out of China. So who knows? There's been some shakeup there. Who knows what's going to happen? And then they make their dice in Mexico. So we're the only U.S. made casino quality dice.
Really?
Yes.
Now that I didn't know.
Yep. They make all theirs in Mexico.
And how lucky am I to be able to live in the same state as you guys?
Yeah.
Doing what I'm doing.
A few minutes away. Yeah.
You can't beat that, man.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, I didn't know that.
So I didn't know if I think I've told some people on the phone, but I'd ever do it in a video. So.
Well, you never told me because I didn't know that. The only American made one.
Yep.
Because I want to buy American.
Yep.
It
used to be important at one time, and now it's like the cheapest, and I don't really care. It appears that a lot of them don't.
I do. I mean, I buy American as much as I can. I mean, I know it's hard today to do that.
Yeah, we've had some people that. Most people, like for game boards, we have a lot of people call us for game board dice, and they realize our price, and they just go to China. There is a few that are like, it's important to us that we buy quality dice in the United States.
Well, I've often said, in videos, because, you gave me that wonderful tour in your plant there, and I told them how you guys make dice by hand.
By hand. There's very little automation.
Exactly. I mean, that is so unique in today's world today, and proves how you can get these dice to, like you said, within a split hair difference of your first dice to your 10th million dice.
Yeah.
It's incredible to see that. I mean, I know I can't videotape in there and everything, but it was unbelievable to see how you guys do your thing here. And I thought that was like wonderful. I mean, that's gone out the door. You don't see people doing stuff by hand anymore.
Yeah.
To get down to the accuracy of what you, like you said, your specifics of how you guys want to be in your product. And I thought that was something great to see, and I appreciate you showing it to me.
Yeah. And all that's based on most state or jurisdiction gaming agencies took the Atlantic City gaming regulations and then tweaked them to meet their state needs for whatever reason. Las Vegas is a little more loose than most of all the other states as far as the way they handle their items, cash, chips, dice, cards. They handle them. It's just different. Atlantic City is most strict that you'll see throughout. And like I said, a lot of the other states took a portion of that or all of it and then tweaked it just a little bit to match their needs. So that's why you got to be, take a hair and you split it 10 times. That's how accurate we have to be. So
now like you said, you and that other place that manufactures in Mexico, you guys are the only two in the world that sell to casinos. Now your dice, your .775 and your .75, are those the same exact size that they make?
Well,
also?
That's interesting. I had a customer of yours that went to a location, because what I tell everybody, a lot of them are like, well, I don't know what size they play, and I'm not good like you that you can pick up a dice cell. These are 775, and no, those are 3/4. I'm not that good, and some of your people that are following your technique are not that good. at now. So what I always tell everybody, go buy dice in the gift shop, even if they've drilled through it, you can do what I'm about to tell them. Is that you take it home, and I always suggest, if they don't know, I always suggest buy a 3/4 stick and a 775, and go see if you can buy the dice, bring it home, and rub it across the dice that you bought for me. And if it's smooth, you're playing with that right dice, whatever it may be, a 775 or a 3/4. Well, I had a couple of your people call back, and they've said, well, I went and played at X casino, and it was in the wrapper still, and they said it says Paulson on it. Well, the other company that makes dice, they own 3 different names. They own Paulson, TK Specialty Dice, and Bud Jones. So when they said that, I knew it was our competitor, and they're like, it matched right up to your dice, which I was very surprised, because they may have a totally different process. However, the gentleman that started some of this automation that you do see back there, very little of it, helped both manufacturers set up the automation.
Okay, so most likely
They're apparently very, very close, whether they're our dice or the Angel Cards dice. So, which was neat to hear, because I never had their dice to compare it to ours for size.
so there really isn't a standard. They have to be .775 and they have to be .75.
Well, what they do is they have to fall between a certain tolerance, and it's 10,000ths. Some are 5 10,000. Some states are 3 10,000.
Okay, within that sleeve,
Yes.
just only.
Yes. So you would do your first one, and you would find out where you'd start out at 0, and you'd put them in there in the micrometer, and it would fall at a certain number, and then that would be your starting point. And then through the other 4 dice in the stick, they can't fall between plus or minus 10,000.
Okay, but then their next sleeve, they have to be that same strategy, but I mean that same deal, but they don't have to match that other
No.
one.
And it's, those, like I showed you in my office, I took him in my office, showed him the bone throw dice. See how they're in boxes? Those boxes have to mic, each box has to mic at a certain 10,000s. We would
Okay.
try to get them coming out of our location at 3 10,000s variants. So when we put them in our machine, the diamond machine that polishes them,
Right.
it'll fit 20 pair. Those 20 pair have to be kept separate between the next 20 pair I'm going to put in, just in case something happens. There was a little
Right.
something blemish on the diamond bit or whatever, or on the pad that we're using. We keep every 20 pair separate, because if we take, let's say we have in this box that we keep in, there's 320 sets, and one gets swapped, they're probably not going to mic in the tolerance in that 5 dice.
So when you're talking about a split hair, you're not really
Right.
from one box to the other.
Right.
20 boxes, or there's
Yeah.
not a great.
Because there has to be a tolerance. There has to also be a tolerance in squareness. We've had people take a square and they hold it up to light. Oh, I can see light through it. Okay, well, just like there's a 10,000 tolerance in miking for our size, there also has to be a tolerance for squareness. Because if you keep that in a cold, it's going to affect the dice. You keep it in hot, it's going to affect the dice. You let someone hold it in their hand for a long time on a dice, and like I'm a sweater, I'm a warm guy, I could affect the size of that dice.
Really?
Yeah, if I hold it.
For within like how much time?
Well, they'll grow if they're kept in a warm. They'll grow. Like
So if you put them in your car and during the during the
And-
day and
and-
set them on your dash, and you went out there, they would actually be a bigger size
Yep.
than what you put them.
Yep.
Quickly too, within
Yeah,
say half.
we
an
have
hour.
people that used to have. They would call and say the dice aren't miking, and we would say, okay, if it was cold,
Would they
or
roll back
warm-
down?
Yeah, if you put them back in a climate controlled, they will go
See, I
back.
didn't know that shit.
Yeah.
I mean.
Well, the old dice, they're made out of acetate. They would catch on fire.
Yeah, I remember you telling me
Yeah,
about that.
a
That's-
lot of people call me. Oh yeah, I got these old dice, and they're getting crystallized a little bit. I'm like, you may want to get rid of those because they will catch on fire. A lot of people say, oh, you put clear fingernail polish over them, it seals them. I don't know. It's not worth it for me to keep.
Well, now
Old dice.
you're adding weight more to.
Well, they
dice.
were just, most people are keeping it just because of, kind of like putting them in something like this just to display them. A lot of people collect them. I have a lot of people call me, hey, can I get the Stratosphere or one of the Sahara dice because they've closed. They want to get some of their old dice, and we don't. If the casino's closed,
Well, I remember showing
we
you.
retire their.
Yeah, I remember you telling the ones I got from Paramount, and
Yeah.
I told you about, and you said, yeah, those dice are made out of the old stuff, you might want to get rid of it and not play with them because you're gonna put friction on there and they could just poof up
Yeah,
the fire.
it's
so,
weird. I've never
Yeah.
seen it happen, but people here have seen it happen. So,
yeah.
but yeah, you just got to be careful about that stuff.
Okay, I never knew that they
Yeah.
actually could move that size and
Yeah.
they don't shrink; they just grow.
Well, yeah, they'll grow.
Okay.
And back in the people were loading dice and stuff. They would do all kinds of different things, heat them up.
Well, I've seen that where they put them in the oven and stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen videos on there where they can doctor dice by putting them in the oven. If you lay them a certain, like the two on the bottom, or I forget
Because
how
you're
it
doing
was.
flats.
Yeah, and then now you're going to be heavy weighted on the two. Then you do another.
Because you got a
dice with
larger surface on the two side.
Yeah, and then you put the 5 on the other one. Now you got a loaded dice.
And that's too much work for me.
I don't know. I don't even know if that shit worked. I just seen
Well, it
it.
does. I have a gentleman here that I make dice for, just with logo, and he has a book out that talks about he went to serve time and was doing. He would go to house games for the mafia and make money. They'd
Is
all
he on
split
YouTube?
it. Fast Jack's his name.
I
He's
never-
he's about 85. The last time I talked to him, he was struggling to breathe. I don't know if he's still okay, but he's got a book that he signed for me.
So what did he get dice made for? You sold them?
No, he was making dice, and he had a suitcase full of them. He'd go in and see what they're playing with. He'd go out to his car, say, "Oh, these match." He'd take one of them off. They didn't know it, and then he would see, "Oh, yeah, this matches," and then he would bring his own dice in during his throw and switch them back out when he was done. It was crazy. It's too much work, you know.
Yeah.
And being in the table games operation side, they showed us a lot of that stuff. A lot of people that used to be cheats are now
Were they
working.
doctored dice?
Yeah, he doctored them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he made flats out of them or whatever. Yeah, they
And no one ever
they
caught him. I mean, he's old.
Well,
so
he
okay.
got. I think he got in trouble for money, and working. He got caught up because he was with the mafia at one time. He got a book on it. It's a very good read.
I mean, then he would have been killed for cheating by cheating the wrong guy.
Well, he never gave up anybody's names. Never, you know.
I would have loved to have met him. He's
Yeah.
like a fascinating guy.
Yeah,
man.
he's a neat guy. He'll talk to you if you call him. Like I said, I should have called him after Thanksgiving to see if he's doing okay.
I mean, I'm sure he played in the local casinos around here.
Well, he didn't play in the casinos. He played it in
Just did
in
private stuff?
private games to where there was no gaming agency. And this is years ago. The guy's 80 something. So he would play in clubs to where people would have a back room and they'd be shooting craps. So
Yeah, I've seen those,
Yeah.
like on movies and stuff, where they
Yeah.
play in the back room. And,
and they are trying to make, I don't know how far along they are. They're trying to make a movie about his life.
really?
So
And he's lived here in
I
this
think he
area?
lives. I think he lives. I don't know, some warm climate. It might have been
Okay.
California
So he
or
don't live in
Arizona
Missouri
or
anymore.
something, because of his asthma and his trouble breathing and stuff. So I should reach out to him. So let him know I talked about him. He would like that. So,
Now, has anybody else from YouTube contacted you about making dice or anything? 'Cause there's a lot of people who throw dice on YouTube.
yeah, El Toro.
Yeah,
Is that his name?
I've seen his.
Yeah, somebody talked to me this week. Says, "Man, you sound just like him, and you laugh just like him."
I just recently ran into him, one of my Patreon subscribers. He actually said some good stuff about me, and I didn't even know he was on doing it. And I went and checked out his videos, and actually he was talking about you, about, I guess he called you and
Yeah, we
ordered some
talked.
dice.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
ordered some dice.
Right, and he was, thanking me for, letting us in, because he sees the difference, because I don't know where he was buying his dice, from Amazon or wherever, and he really sees what the difference is between your dice and buying from all these other so-called suppliers, and how they really do match at casinos he plays in and everything. So he says some good stuff about me, and I appreciate it. And then, I've been watching him. He's pretty good. He can throw pretty good, man. He's
Yeah. I've watched
up-and-coming
a
guy.
couple of his videos. So,
So you're gonna be making some El Toro dice?
well, I haven't made. No one has asked for me to do logo dice
Oh,
besides
okay.
you. So,
I thought maybe.
but
not.
he's bought, and I know that he's sent people to buy from me. They've said that to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's done a couple of videos about you guys.
Yeah. He asked if he could. I said I didn't care. So, but yeah, no, you're the only one we've done a logo for. So
And fabulous, man. They look
They
good.
do look good.
Oh,
I got a couple
shit.
sets myself.
Hey, everybody's gonna want them when they see them. I mean,
So I shorted somebody out of buying 2 sets because I took 2 sets.
not me, you didn't. Because I'm here first. I'm getting the first dice. I'm buying me some sleeve. I'm not going to buy all of them. I'd love to buy all of them, but I'm going to leave some dice for you guys to get. But I tell you what, I've seen all the dice with casino names on them and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know, maybe I'm just prejudiced or whatever. But I mean, these are just the way that you guys made the letters in bone type design, with the skulls in there for the zeros in both names. It's just, to me, it's unique, special, and these are one of a kind, no other like them, and I just think they're the greatest looking dice I've ever seen. And I might be a little prejudiced.
Yeah, you might be a little prejudiced. They look nice. They're nice looking. I didn't wonder.
I mean, come on,
how good they were going to look.
You've
But
been
they
in
look
the dice
good.
business
Yep.
forever. Come on, they got to be some of the
They
best.
look good.
You
They look good.
To hear that from you, that's great. I love to hear that. So, Sam, I appreciate you.
And we had to
doing
make a die for these. It was a custom dice.
I know, and I told
die for
everybody
you,
that I didn't have to pay for that die. That's the only thing I got out of
And
this
you're
deal.
getting these 4 sets at no
Right,
cost.
but other than that, I'm not making money off of what.
He's refused to make money off these
Right.
dice. He would not do it. I offered it to him, and he would not take it.
They were nice of me. He offered to make the plate that has the stamp for Bone Thrower, and that's all I got out of this deal. And I was happy to, that he gave it to me. And I'm gonna get ready to buy some dice. I'm gonna spend a couple $100 here buying dice, and that's it. I'm not out to get any money on this deal. I'm all about directing everybody out there watching this video to getting the right. If you're a person who practices and throws dice, I want you to be able to throw with the same type of dice that you're going to be playing with at the casino, because it's going to make your game better. Believe me, I know. I've been doing this for years. If you throw with Amazon dice that are going to be totally, they don't even match in the sleeve,
They're
let
not even
alone
razor edge, which
Right.
is what you're going to be throwing with.
exactly, and they don't weigh the same. I weighed them because I got scales and I got calipers. Okay, so I went out and bought the equipment to check this stuff out.
Yeah.
And they're different, and I mean, it's elementary, man, to think that if you're throwing with different dice at the casino than you're throwing on your table, it's not going to be the same bounce. It's not going to be the same roll. I mean, people don't understand it. They really think that there's no difference in it. But believe me, there really is. I mean, I'm a person who practices every day. I throw a lot of repetitions over and over again and been doing it for years. And I see the difference in the games by the dice.
Yeah.
It's a big factor in what you do here.
Well, you want to practice with what you're going to play with in the casino. That's
Exactly. And I've told everybody that you guys are a one-stop shop for anything casino, because you guys sell the original stuff to the casinos. I mean, come on. This is where the casinos go. They don't go to Amazon. They don't go to eBay. They come either here or they go to your other competitor. The only two in the nation, and this is the only place in America.
Right.
And this is where casinos are going to go get their stuff, so why wouldn't you want to buy your stuff from here? I know I am. If I got to pay a little bit more than I pay from Amazon, big deal. At least I know I'm getting the right stuff.
Yeah. You're getting the exact same dice. It just didn't have their casino logo on it.
Exactly.
That's the only
So,
difference.
if you want to get good at craps and you want to win money and you want to be a consistent winner all the time, you got to do this stuff that I'm pointing out to you. I'm not forcing anybody to do this. I'm just suggesting and telling you where to get the right stuff. And you want to start with the right dice, okay? You don't have to buy Bone Thrower dice from Sam. He's got the same dice, but don't have the Bone Thrower on it.
That's right.
So you don't have to buy Bone Thrower dice. If you're thinking about, I'm not buying it because your name's on it, that's fine. But buy the other dice he's got. Same kind of dice, they just don't have Bone Thrower on it. So, but they're the correct dice. That's all I'm trying to do, is steer people to the. I want everybody to win.
Right.
Okay? I mean, I want everybody to have fun. Casino, you don't have fun when you're losing.
Yeah, and one thing too, I've had some people call and ask about, do you sell two? I'm not going to tell you if I sell to them. I don't think it's good practice, business practice. Some people say, do you sell to X casino and what size are the dice? I'm just not going to do it, because I don't. This is out in YouTube. They could go find this video, and I'm not going to do that. They're our business. That's the core of our business. We've been doing it over 70 years. So just so I've told the people on the phone, but just so they know the reason why I don't do it is I'm not going to jeopardize my relationship with the casinos. So, but they only buy two sizes, and we got both.
That's why I've told everybody that from the
Yeah,
beginning. I said,
yeah.
buy a sleeve of each, okay? Hold them both in your hands.
Yeah.
Practice with them, sleep with them, look at them.
Right.
I mean, that's how I got to where I can just pick up a dice and I know exactly
That's
what they are.
amazing that you can do that.
Well, you can over time, and then now you can go to that casino and just pick the dice up, and I guarantee you'll know right off the bat. Yeah, I mean, I can tell by eyesight that that's a 7.75 dice or that's a .75 dice, and now you know. So you don't have to be asking Sam this stuff. You'll know your way. You'll know yourself by just getting familiar with each one. So buy at least one sleeve of each, so you can.
Unless you know exactly where you play, that they use what size. If you've gotten down what size they use, and most people don't. Most casinos don't change their size of dice. I've been here 14 years, and very seldom will they say, "Okay, I want to go to a 7.75 or a 3/4." What they will do is change the color, but they very seldom, almost never, change their size, and it's just based upon superstition. At this other casino I worked at, they did 3/4 inch, and wherever they go to work next, they want
Yeah, so
3/4
if you're playing at one casino, once you figure it out, you're in.
You
man.
probably got it.
You're in for life.
They're not. Now, I will say this: if they buy from, most casinos don't have a single supplier in dice, and I don't encourage that because, God forbid, we could have a fire here and be down for months, and these guys don't have
Well,
dice.
like the old saying, don't put all your eggs in one
That's
basket.
right. And most people will do a second vendor, but we know the vendor, and in that other vendor, they may do a different size. But typically, once they start buying from me, they stay with that size
Okay,
throughout.
but when you talk about another vendor, other than you two,
No, I'm just saying the other vendor.
Okay,
We talked about it earlier.
okay, you talk about their size might be different, but it's probably not going to be that
No.
much off.
What I'm saying is they may buy 3/4 inch dice from me and
Oh, okay.
7.75
But
from their other vendor.
Right, but if they buy 7.75, of course they're
Yeah.
both the same.
And 99% of the time, they're going to
Well,
use different colors, so they know.
Right.
Okay, this is Midwest guys dice, and this is Angel dice. But there may be a difference in size based on who the vendor they use. Meaning, we both got the same size, but one may be a smaller, one may be the larger. But with me, I don't think I've ever had it happen in 14 years where if X casino was buying for me and they were doing 3/4, they would say, "Hey, can we switch over to 7.75?" I mean, it's never happened. I've been here for 14 years. And when I was 15 years in the casino street, about 4 of those years I was a dealer. After that, I was in management, and in a lot of the casinos, I did all the buying for our department, and I never switched the size of dice.
I think
ever.
most people out there play at one or two casinos in their town, and that's it.
They may have 3 or 4 that they drive to, or when they go on vacation, they may go to Vegas.
Well, yeah,
and they
you go to
typically will
Vegas.
go to one place.
Once a year type of thing.
Yeah, but if you got it figured out, there's no reason to buy the other. But you just got to figure it out first.
Right, that's what I tell them.
And a lot of places they don't sell them in the gift shop. But if you, most dealers will tell you guys anything you want to know. If you just buddy up and talk to them, they'll tell you everything. When they change the layouts, what it looks like underneath. A lot of people have been asking about the padding.
A lot of them don't know because I do ask them.
Yeah.
And, hey, what kind of pad? I mean, I sit and quiz them all the time. What kind of underlayment you got in there? I don't know.
Yeah.
I try to.
So then what you do there is 2 supervisors on a craps table. The person sitting down is a boxman. The person standing up is a floorman. Their supervisor is called a pit manager. Their supervisor is called a shift manager, and then their manager is a casino ops, director of table games, whatever. So if you're not getting it from the dealers, start buddying up and talking to the floor supervisors. They love to talk to people. They're glorified hosts, and they like to throw up on you with information because they think it's cool that they know all this stuff. So if you want to know it, they'll tell you. You just got to find them. You just got to go to the
I
next
call the
chain.
guy sitting down the pit guy. That's how I've always.
Yeah, he's called a boxman in the casino.
Okay, but I always call him the pit boss.
Yeah.
Does he share in the tips?
No. When Las Vegas got in big trouble because all the supervisors got a cut of the dealers' tips, but 99.9% in all other places, no. They don't get tips.
Okay. I mean, I've often wondered, because I say it all the time to my viewers out there, tip your dealers. They are great people. They're not making a lot of money, and they put up with a lot of crap from a lot of people, because believe me, I know.
Yep.
there's a lot of assholes that go play craps, okay, and they got to deal with these guys. So I tip them a lot, and I love a lot of these pit boss guys because they're just as nice as the
Yeah,
dealers, man.
they're
They're not
job.
the evil
No.
dragon that people think they. Oh, the dealers are fine, but that pit guy, man, he's taking notes of you and he wants to destroy you and all this kind of stuff. So I've always been curious: do they share them to the tips?
No. Now there used to be back in the old days, they would get an envelope from the dealers because you're not supposed to hustle for tips, and we call people that tip in the casino industry, we call them Georges.
Yeah,
you got
I've
a
heard
good
that comment.
George next to
Right.
the stick, whatever. So and you're not supposed to hustle for tips, but in the old days, you get a box person sitting there, and he's the one that would typically would police the hustling for tips. And if you get him on the take, all the dealers, there's four of them, one's on break, three's on the table. They would give him an envelope. They'd let him back in the old days. So
Really?
Oh yeah, they'd make good money on. And that's where when my second job in the casino industry in the Midwest, a lot of people left Las Vegas because they owed so much taxes, because they were getting cash in these envelopes. Or if somebody wanted a day off, hey man, you can't have a day off. You show up with an envelope. Okay, now you got the day off. They were always hustling.
But not today.
No, oh no, you don't.
So
I
they-
mean, I'm sure something like that happens, but back in the day, it was a problem. People were getting. I mean, they had huge tax bills because they found out they were getting envelopes. And a lot of casinos, and some still do this in Las Vegas today, but not very many. You would go for your own, meaning your table would go for their own toke box. At the end of the night, when everybody left, that was the tokes. That's what you split it between the dealers. So, yeah, it's changed a lot. Now it's usually by shift or by day. Most of them go by a 24-hour shift. And they, on Monday they split it, and for Tuesday morning they'll dump all the toke boxes out, count it, and that's what the toke rate was for that day. And there's some places toke rate's $20, $30 an hour. You get
I've seen some, man. They're
That's where you make your money. Your hourly wage you don't care about.
You
You're
gotta
worried
go
about
early
tips.
to the casino to catch them counting all that stuff. They go to an empty table and pour all
Usually
this.
craps table, and
Yeah,
just
and
because
then
it's tons of it.
I've seen a couple casinos with just piles of these chips, man. I mean, that's just from the day and night of that. This ain't a week. This is one day.
One 24-hour gaming period.
Yeah, and it's like, my God. I mean, I know they got maybe 50 people who are splitting this thing or whatever because the card guys get it.
Yeah, everybody gets it.
Yeah, and the waitresses don't. Probably.
No,
Yeah,
just the people,
all the
just
dealers,
the
right?
gaming people.
Right, the guy behind the cards, the roulette
Yep.
guy, and whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just fascinating to see. But I've been in casinos where it wasn't much.
Yeah,
One that frequent here now.
But they're probably paying a little more in wages to make up for. They know
they
they're
don't
not
get a
gonna make
lot
it
of tips there.
Yeah, because like in Kansas City area, you seriously, if it's below 20, it's bad. $20 an hour.
Yeah.
So if
Well,
you want to learn how to deal or do something for craps or blackjack, you can work anywhere in the world once you learn it and make good money.
I tip them good. I mean, I tip them a lot. People freak out the way I tip them, but they're good people. I like them.
And they'll have your back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I want to stress this out too. They don't let you get away with nothing because you tip. Okay, you're still going to be treated like everybody else there. Yeah, like you said, they will have your back. Understand that, but they're not going to let you throw short of the wall.
No.
Oh, they're not going to say nothing. Oh, they correct me as soon as I do it a couple of times. Come on now, we know you can get them dice hitting the wall. They'll say that just because I just laid a $200 tip on the day before. Not going to stop him from letting me.
There's procedures they must follow.
Right, yeah. So you're not getting away with murder because you tipped the dealer. And that's not why I tip them, so I know I can get away with everything. I tip them because they're good people, and I like them.